And special commodity licenses to export support. We're driving Jamaica's developmental trade. The time by the Trade Board Limited is
6 o'clock. Time for news for the good of our nation.
Good evening. I'm Hal Shaper with the latest from the Radio Jamaica Meteorological Service of Jamaica. Evan Thompson said he observed disruption is expected to cause conditions during the usual wet period between May and November. In the early wet season between May and June, drought conditions were affected for St. James, while significant dryness was affected across St. Thomas, Narrowland, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Anne, and St. Mary. Mr. Thompson said southern parishes should brace for dry conditions in the coming days, which is expected to last through September.
So here we see in the period that we're currently in, going on till next week, we are expecting lots of dryness, mainly over the southern part of the island. And you see that large area of reds and browns that is south of the island, but somewhat impacting on the island of Jamaica. And that's what we're expecting over the next few days. But then we are expecting the browns to continue in terms of the dryness continuing over sections of the island going through much of July. Here we have it even going into August, where we have those drier conditions that are expected to be impacting our island.
Principal Director of the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, Evan Thompson. Western parishes will get relief, while some amount of dryness will persist across eastern parishes. Mr. Thompson says that there will be a pickup in rainfall activity near the end of the year. Meanwhile, Acting President of the National Water Commission, Garth Jackson, says 44 or 10% of the NWC's 450 systems have so far been affected by the dry conditions. He says the NWC is considering water restrictions in the corporate area due to the reduction of inflows into the Hermitage Dam and Mona Reservoir. Mr. Jackson also outlined measures being implemented by the NWC to ensure regular water supply to customers during the dry spell.
The short-term actions. So for the urban centers, we're looking at modulating the supplies and actually regulating supplies between the streets. The basis, however, reducing the actual output from facilities. Today we'll be recommissioning the Beverly Hills well and the Cavaliers wells. Those two are going back in service. We have done some checks on those, make sure they're up on both the electromechanical equipment as well as the boreholes, the wells themselves are up to standard. Upper camp is also being recommissioned, and that would bring about just over 2 million gallons of water additional into service so that we can cut back on the regular abstraction from the raw water impoundments.
Acting President of the National Water Commission, Garth Jackson. 3 people died and 2 others were injured in a 2-vehicle crash along Robert Manley Boulevard in Hanover yesterday. The deceased have been identified as 65-year-old Albert Hart of Pleasance Cove, 47-year-old Owen Jackson of Caldwell, and 37-year-old Ricardo Bayliss, a laborer of Horton, Green Island, all in Hanover. Reports from the Green Island Police are that around 5:50 p.m., a pickup truck was traveling west towards Negril when upon reaching a section of the main road, the driver lost control of the vehicle. The police say the vehicle then veered off its path and collided with a green motor car being driven by Jackson. The police were alerted to the scene, where Hart and Jackson were pronounced dead. Bayliss and the driver of the pickup were transported to hospital, where Bayliss died while undergoing treatment. The driver of the pickup and the 4th occupant, who had been in the motor car, were hospitalized. 200 fatalities have been recorded so far this year, compared with 210 for the period like 10 years for child pornography, 10 years for incest, and 3 years for assault occasioning bodily harm. The judge ordered that the sentences run concurrently, means the convicted man will serve 33 years and 8 months behind bars. He pleaded guilty to the charges on February 14 this year in the St. Catherine Circuit. The court heard that between January 2022 and December 2023, they underage girls to engage in sexual acts. A report was made to the police in February 2024 and an investigation launched.
gauge man will call and say I wish bus not a 6Cs. But this a the most I look up it now, I'm looking at the international football. You're good man, you're good with that. No way? Yeah, straight across the bar, I'm going. Back here. Yeah, then up here idiot. No, you're not be a big idiot. Chew down my hand drive. Just sit down. And every time man come and lecture, I just sit down. And go and act like something can't. 6 January. Yeah. I just have what I see.